So the scene starts with David Bluebook, who is straight up just yapping, bruh. And since I don't want to take too long on this section, I'll just try to summarize it as best as I can. So basically, David Bluebook is like one of the few who survived the Earth's bleaching by being lucky enough to be underground when the incident happened. And on New Year's Eve, the fantasy trees descended across the road, with its branches nearly wiping out all of humanity. But hold on! David himself mentions that the tree as a weapon itself could have ended humanity way quicker, but somehow these branches decided that it would be better to kill each human one by one. Almost as if the breaches wanted to see humanity suffer. Oh boy. After reading the final chapter of FGO, come on bro, we all know FGO is going to continue after this. And knowing what truly happened, yeah. What David Bluebook said was actually kinda spot on, bruh. But anyways, after discovering some remnants that proved that there were more people who survived this incident, he decides to pay Area 51 a visit, since he believed that this is where his questions will be answered. We then switch back to where we last left off, when we were about to sink before Xiang saved us. So we head towards her location, but before she even properly introduces us, she straight up says that,
"Hey, y'all niggas owe me some money, bruh."
Zam, how much? And she says, if I remember correctly, $790 fucking million? Nah, she can't be fucking that ass, bruh. After all the shit we've been through, bruh. Now we're even gonna pay this bitch some money? Just because we used to pay promote and Trismegistus, which she invented by the way, to actually fucking survive? Hey yo Roland, let's go kill this bitch.
It was just a joke.
So she introduces herself as Sion Eltnam Sokaris, an alchemist of the Atlas Institute, and we also introduce ourselves alongside our director Gordov. So after talking for a bit, we found out that Sion was able to semi-replicate our summoning system and actually managed to summon a servant. A mysterious servant that refuses to reveal their true name. It's Nemo. His true name is Nemo. So we head to the command room, which closely resembles the one back in Old Chaldea. But actually, we found out that it was Chaldea that actually modeled theirs after this one. And here we found out that the first director actually cooperated with the Atlas Institute in order to create Trismegistus, which then led to race shifting and lastly led to the completion of Chaldea's, which of course helped us on our journey through the singularities. And keep in mind, if any of this information were to be leaked to the rest of the Lords of the Clock Tower, then a literal war would happen. Man, even though I absolutely, and I mean absolutely hate this nigga, I still gotta give credits where credits is due. He indeed does have Balls of Steel. So what you have to know is that this is going to be our new base. In the next section, we switch back to the cryptos as they are sitting at their version of the Knights of the Round Table. And right off the bat, Krenska is out here putting a World Cup 2026 messy performance when it comes to pretending to be completely down about Ophelia's death. But Akuta just straight up calls and the both of them start beefing. But before it could escalate, the goat himself, Pepperoncino, steps in and stops the bickering. After a short while, Akuta leaves. And this nigga Cardo counting his lucky stars that Akuta did not mention his name. Cause bro the whole time was stressing. Because out of all the cryptos, he was the first one that had his LB destroyed. So Akuta had every fucking right to completely destroy his R. Now even Burial questions why we the Chaldeans even left Kardok alive. Because out of all the cryptos, his servant actually did the most damage. I mean, remember guys, they literally destroyed our base and took our Da Vinci. But Kardok is like, nigga, hey, I'ma just be for real, bro. I don't even know for real, bro. But after this, the cryptos recognize how much of a threat we the Chaldeans are and are even surprised at how we have made it this far. Especially with us being the master of Chaldea. And Kardok being a hater has always caused us a fraud of a mage who actually has no choice but to stay close to his servants in order to supply them with sufficient magical energy. A fraud, Kardok. Oh my fair and little Kardok. Let's not forget that we still defeated your bitch ass, nigga. All that fucking yap just to be shot on by a literal 49 overall. Now as for the next time we see Regon, yeah, so after Krenska tells them about what happened in LB2 and how Ophelia teamed up with us to defeat Surtur, they find out that we managed to find refuge at the Wandering Sea, which is a problem for the cryptos because they don't know how to locate the Wandering Sea. Not even the foreign god could wipe them off the face of the earth because it technically exists somewhere outside the planet's reach in a sense. But Krenskaya, being the cunning little fox she is, knows a way to get to us. So her plan is to first go to the Wandering Sea, and then from then on, she'll eliminate this planet's final hope, Fujimaru. So later, as the master wakes up from a stressful day at the Wandering Sea, he decides, hey, let me head to the cafeteria in order to get me some eats.
Yes, sir.
And there he sees the big bag, our kind director himself, who has eaten half of a conveniently placed cake on one of the tables of the cafeteria, which he believes to have been made for Fujimaru from the staff members. So he decides to give the other half to Fujimaru, and after yapping for a bit, they both feel a sense of uneasiness, a faint feel of nausea and dizziness. As both are questioning what is going on, the culprit reveals themselves, and it is none other than one of Satan's greatest generals, Tamamovich Koyanskaya. But actually, her plan failed because Gorov ate half of the cake, meaning the effects were halved, which also means that the master survived the poisoning. Nemo, realizing that someone had infiltrated the Wandering Sea, immediately sets the alarm off, which leads to Koyanskaya evacuating the scene. Later, we find out that Gorov only has 10 days to live because of the poisoning. The master, however, is most likely going to survive due to his connection with MASH, which granted him a sort of poison resistance. Finding a cure is also impossible with our technology, since it is a very old poison that was used back then in China, which means that we have no choice but to head towards the Chinese LB in order to find a cure. But if some of y'all were wondering how Koyan even made it to the Wandering Sea, then you have no one to blame but Mr. Gorov himself! He still had a lipstick of hers, which served as a sort of anchor for her to warp here.
Is this nigga serious?
What more have I not said about this nigga? But you know what? I'll keep calm for now. So after finding out that Koyan will also be present at the LB, we decided it would be better to capture Koyan and ask her about the antidote than to search for a cure in this LB, since it could take us a long time. So our goals are capture Koyan, defeat the Cryptor, and destroy the LB3. With the help of our Zero Seal, we arrive at the LB, and for an LB, this place seems a little bit too peaceful compared to the other ones we have encountered so far. But as we are about to explore this LB, we encounter some residents of this LB who, after seeing us, start getting scared, saying something like,
yo, who the fuck are these niggas?
I mean, just look at them.
And the clothes they wear.
Wait, don't tell me that these are filthy foreign! And we begin to scrap with them a little. Of course, we only subdue them and don't kill them. So after our fight is over, they retreat and we go back to the border in order to inform the others of what is going on. And hold up, just look at what our director says about the people. Yes! Your eyes are not deceiving you. He was about to call them barbarians. Are you saying that just because they are Chinese? I always knew there was something off about Gordy, bruh. I mean, the blonde hair, blue eyes, and a blonde mustache. Man, I wonder what he would say to a black person. Since the residents were still a bit hostile, we still needed someone to explain to them that we aren't here to harm them, even though we came to prune their planet out. And who other than our sweet little angel, Da Vinci, to explain it to them. And as expected, these niggas folded instantly, bruh, but she wasn't the only one putting in some work, if you know what I'm saying. Like, we have Sherlock fucking Holmes himself tryna dip in some Chinese themed buns, if y'all know what I mean. And of course, this nigga has his baddies folding. And thanks to their efforts, we were able to stop our little beef with him. But later, we found out that we can't use a ley line here to summon servants from this LB, which means that there is something hindering us from doing so. And so instead, we have to wait a while until we can summon servants from our Chaldean Saint Graph. As we are making even more plans, we notice a strange creature appearing around the corner. And it is a Krishat from LB1, which completely surprised us because how is an LB1 creature somehow in LB3? But it didn't take us long to realize how this came to be. It simply means that a demon we all know has arrived in this LB. After this shocking reveal, Da Vinci informs us that she sent a drone to scout around the capital, and from a first look, similar to the place we are at right now, there are only fields to be seen. But if we start looking up, we see something straight from a horror movie hovering above the capital. Like seriously, what the fuck is this? It seems like this LB deviated somewhere in the Qin dynasty, meaning that the first emperor of China is alive. And we switch over to his quarters as he or they, Korenskaya and Akuta, are talking about us the Chaldeans and how the emperor doesn't really see us as any threat. But Korenskaya and Akuta had to remind bro that yes my nigga, we is indeed built like that. And also kind of find it funny how Korenskaya got unintentionally rage baited by the emperor when he spoke her name wrong. Keep in mind that this is only the first of many rage baits that the emperor has in store for Koyan, but y'all will find out in later parts. Okay, so back in the border, we discussed the issue of Xi Wang still being alive in his LB. Because if he truly is the emperor, then that means that he was able to achieve immortality somehow. But from the looks of this LB, since the people here seem way too primitive than to be expected. I mean my nigga, just look at that giant thing bruh. If they can't build that, then they surely should have cities that are way more advanced than our current world. Then out of nowhere, we see something that seems like a missile flying over to our location. And to our surprise, it is actually Akuta and his servant who have decided to stand on business. And they realize very quickly that they are indeed not built for this life and retreat instantly. Man, just because we look all innocent and all doesn't mean that we are not demons. Put respect on our names, bruh. But guys, this is only the first of many, and I mean many encounters with these niggas. So be prepared for that. But later, we do find out that Akuta wasn't really going all out. The emperor himself basically laid it out. And he isn't playing. All you have to know is that Akuta isn't really at all what she seems like. She is powerful, and I mean powerful. So please keep that in mind. Later in the border, we do find out that Akuta has always been a sneaky little hater. Even back in Chaldea, she always had a guard up around people, almost as if she was hiding something. But as we are about to look closer into her Chaldea profile, we notice another missile being fired, meaning that enemy reinforcements have been sent to subdue us. So Da Vinci the Goat, as always, make sure that we have reinforcements as well, in form of, you know, our servants. And these are Sir Mordred, Spartacus, and Jinke. And Jinke is especially important here because if you remember her legend, she was the assassin that attempted to end Xi Wang's life but failed. If I remember correctly. Yo, I might be wrong, you know. If I'm wrong, hey, I hope your niggas correct me in the comments. So maybe in this LB, she'll be the one who puts the final nail on his coffin. But nonetheless, Akuta and his servant pull up with some automata, and we regain our scrap. And just like before, they run away. Man, niggas be fake demons, I swear. Subsequently, the emperor holds another meeting with Akuta and Koyan, and this time, he plans to send a heavy hitter to halt our progress. And it is none other than Xiang. But he isn't the only one that he is sending out. He plans to send more warriors who have been frozen for a long time, meaning that he is starting to take us Chaldeans a little more seriously. In the next section, we actually find out more about the villagers or farmers around here. It turns out that these people are ignorant of wars and in general weaponry as a concept. Despite seeing these robots, which are foreign to them, they still don't really show much reaction to it. Like I'll be honest, if I saw an automata like that, y'all know I'm hitting the old symbol, bruh. But these niggas don't even seem to have a sense of danger, and they only have a warped vision of what a foreigner is. I mean, just look at how they describe them. Literally thinking they are a star of the city level threat. So basically, this is a world so peaceful that stuff such as weaponry and just overall violence is foreign to them. Thereafter, we switch over to the captain of the guard and Xi Wang, talking about which servant they would like to unfreeze. Ideally, they want someone that is strong enough to defeat our servants, but also one that's extremely loyal to the cause, which of course excites Korenskaya. So in the next scene, after we talk to the boy in a village who reveals where the nest of the Krishad is, we head there together with our team composed of Sherlock, Jinke, the boy, Mash, Spartacus, and the master as well. After defeating some Krishad who seemed awfully accustomed to fighting humans, we arrive at the cave, only to find out that the Krishad have actually teamed up with other species. Zam! This is akin to Drogba and his teammates stopping a whole civil war in their country back in 05. If you know, you know. But this time, instead of it being Drogba, it's actually Korenskaya being the main contributor. But before we could eliminate the Krishad once and for all, they retreat, meaning we will have to postpone this elimination for another time. From that point forward, we arrive back in the fields where the Stormbite is located. Here we also find out more about the people in the LB. You know, these people in this LB have no form of literacy and also have no form of parenting, or just parents in general. And we find this out by the boy doing the XXX gimmick.
What's that? What the fuck?
which of course angers Spartacus, who sees this as a form of oppression. He also says that depending on the outcome of this battle, he may switch up on us, and normally I would be pissed at this, but I really admire how Spartacus stands on what he believes, so I'll let it slide this time. We then switch to the Emperor in his quarters as the captain of the guard lists out 2 servants that he unfurls, which are Liang Yu and Han Xing, who basically looks like you, the viewer, and from the dialogue with him, you can tell that he lives for them wars. I mean, just look at how sad he was when he found out that China has long since been peaceful. He may look like a straight A student from the suburbs of the suburbs, but don't let that fool you. This nigga is indeed a demon. Then we switch back to outside as Xiang has sent another missile containing the man himself, Xiang Yu. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, we are cooked. And to add even more salt to the wound, Akuta and her servant arrive as well. Damn, they really want us gone, bruh. Nah, they want us erased immediately. Xiang Yu himself knew that we were not built like that and was like,
Nah, yo, y'all niggas really trash for real, bruh. I came here thinking y'all was finna give me a 2026 World Cup Messi performance, bruh. But y'all give me a Turkey year. I ain't even gonna message y'all no more, bruh. Hope y'all KYS, man.
and then nigga just leaves like that. Top 10 disrespectful moments of all time. Man, if only I was there, bro. Ruoff straight up jumped this nigga in front of his girl.
Just know I'm fine. Got my own bitch on my mind. I've been out here on that grind. Hour to hour putting in that time. And if a nigga think he killing my vibe, he'll come to a quick conclusion. Knock him out, give a brain a